Very good morning, children. So in your part 4 we will study more topics for chapter 15, our environment. So till now you all have studied about food chain and food web. Today we will study about how energy from the food is transferred in food chain. Okay, as you all know that producers, plants capture energy, light energy or solar energy from the sun. Okay, and then this energy is trapped by producers in the plant. From the plant, this energy is consumed by the herbivores, from the herbivores to the carnivores, and then the top carnivores take this energy from the carnivores. This energy is transferred in the phase of heat. At each level, the transfer of energy in a food chain is unutilized, means it is not utilized by the organism. So this energy is released as a community heat on each level. Okay, and this unutilized energy at each level of the food chain is released by the decomposers or the decaying organism on the each level. Means they consume and release unutilized energy, which is community heat. Then this community heat again taken from the each level, from producers, herbivores, carnivores, and also from the top carnivores. This is how in the diagram this to show the transfer of energy in a food chain. Actually children, there are some points and steps that transfer of energy in ecosystem. Let us read those points. Energy is actually not created in the ecosystem. Energy is only converted from one to the another. Okay, there is a continuous transfer of energy from one trophic level of organism to the next trophic level in a food chain, and it is unidirectional. At each trophic level of organisms, some of the energy is utilized by them for their metabolic activities, for their life processes. A part of energy at each trophic level is utilized for the functioning of decomposers also. And then what happens? Then there is loss of energy at each energy transfer in the various trophic levels. Means in each level, either it is producers, carnivores, top carnivores, or after producers, herbivores. Means there is a loss of energy at each level, at each energy transfer in a trophic level of an organism, then which goes into the environment and remains unutilized. Okay, so we can say at each level some of the energy remains unutilized. How? Let us see more about flow of energy in the ecosystem. Actually, why flow of energy in the ecosystem is said to be unidirectional? Why? Because the energy lost as heat from living organisms of a food chain cannot be reused by plants in photosynthesis. Automatically it cannot converted. After using it, cannot be converted from top carnivores to carnivores, then carnivores to herbivores, and cannot return back to plants, to producers. Okay, so there is a type of rule that how energy is transferred from first trophic level to second, and second trophic level to a third trophic level. This rule is called 10 10% law. Means this rule is a 10% law. It is understood that only 10% of previous percentage of energy is transferred to the next tropic level. How it is done, we will see here. We can see that from the sun, the energy which is transferred to the producers, okay, 1000 joule of energy, of light energy, means how it is absorbed, 1% only from the sun, okay, 1% is absorbed by the plant as a food, as a energy, which is first tropic level. So from 1000 joule, the energy which is consumed by the producers will be consumed only 10%, which will be a 10 joule energy. Okay. Now see the next step. What will happen to this 10% of 10 joule energy? This 10% of 10 joule energy will be transferred to the next tropic level, to the herbivores, which will be 1 joule energy available as a flesh food, which is second tropic level. Now what will happen the next? In the next picture, we will see that from 10%, okay, or 1 joule of energy which is consumed and converted, will be left only 0.1 joule energy, okay, which will be available to the third tropic level. So this is how it is known as 10% of law. So this diagram is to show or to illustrate that the 10% law for the transfer of energy in a food chain. With this law, we will take one example by this law. See here question. There is one problem we are solving. Consider the following food chain: grass, mice, snake, peacocks. In this question, if this chain, please read the question. If in this chain 100 joule of energy is available to the producer level, then calculate the energy transfer to the peacock as food. State the law used in the calculation. Means first you have to see mice, grass, snake, peacock. You have to see these organisms, how they utilize their energy. While taking this, we have to calculate. Now see the solution. Solution is the producer level in the food chain is grass, okay. So 100 joule of energy is available to the grass as a food. So we have to apply 10% of law to the above food chain. How we will do? See the step. In the number 1, what we have done, according to 10% law, 10% of energy of grass will be available as food in mice. Then thus the energy available to mice will be a 10% of 100 joule, which is 10 joule. Will be a 10% of 100 joule, which is 10 joule. Okay. The energy available to snake will be a 10% of 10 joule, which is 1 joule. Okay. And finally, the energy available to peacock will be 10% of joule, which is 0.1 joule. Means this calculation is solved by a 10% law, which we have studied in a previous slide. The above conclusion can now be depicted or can be solved as follows. We can see here how it is solved. Grass 100 joule, 10%, mice, then 10%, 10 joule, snake converted into a 10%, 1 joule, then peacock will be left with energy which will be 0.1 joule. Okay. Yes. Now, accumulation of harmful chemicals means how these harmful chemicals are accumulated in the food. Accumulation of harmful chemicals. What are these harmful chemicals? These are the chemicals which are sprayed in the crops. The most commonly known harmful chemical is DDT, okay, which is commonly spread in the crops. So, we will study now about harmful chemicals. Accumulation of harmful chemicals, what are they are called? They are called bioaccumulations. So, what is bioaccumulation? Bioaccumulation means consuming of harmful chemical in the crops, okay. It can be totally avoided in our bodies, but it can be reduced to some extent by following methods. It cannot be avoided because they are mixed in the crops. Farmers use these chemicals for their good agriculture. We can avoid toxic chemical pesticides, okay. We can go to the organic way. We can eat certified organic food if possible or when possible. We should always wash fruits, vegetable before consuming. So, the spraying and the chemicals which are used, they can be washed properly. We should choose fish wisely as many contain unsafe levels of the toxins. The most toxins food is available in the fish, we can avoid, okay. And now we will read and study most important topic, which is ozone layer. First of all, what is ozone layer? Okay, ozone layer is very important for our life, for existence of life on earth, because it absorbs most of the harmful ultraviolet radiation coming from the sun and prevent them from reaching the earth, okay. So, first of all, we will see about the formula of ozone. Now see, whenever it is asked what is ozone layer, whenever we are explaining definition of ozone layer, formula of ozone layer is very important to write, okay. So, in higher level of atmosphere, due to ultraviolet radiations, oxygen molecules convert into free oxygen atoms, means oxygen which is O2 convert into two free atoms, okay, and then these two atoms react with the oxygen molecule to form a ozone, which is O3, okay. So, ozone layer is very important for existence of life on earth because it absorbs most of the harmful ultraviolet radiations coming from the sun and prevent them from reaching the earth, okay. So, ozone layer, harmful ultraviolet radiation coming from the sun and prevent them from reaching the earth. This is ozone layer, okay. But what are the harmful effect of ozone layer? Of ozone layer depletion. What are the harmful effect? Ozone layer is on the topmost layer of the atmosphere, as we all know. And what does it do? It protects the earth from the harmful UV radiation. When we use harmful pollutants like CFC, chlorofluorocarbons, it reacts with ozone in the atmosphere and causes the ozone layer to deplete. So, we all know now how ozone layer can be harmful, okay. It protects the earth from the harmful UV radiation, but if it reacts with the causes that ozone layer to deplete, then it can be harmful. The ozone layer depletion causes humans to their skin, to their eyes, Okay, directly exposed to UV rays which can cause skin cancer and which can also affect on the eyes also. Okay, also eyes also. Now, as we all are studying the most important topic in this lesson, ecosystem, how we can improve quality of our ecosystem. If we can improve, if we will manage our garbage production. So, in this topic, you all will study how to improve quality of our ecosystem by managing the garbage which we produce. There are various methods and modes that can be managed the garbage. Okay, the first one is recycling. As the name is coming, means recycling the waste. The solid waste like paper, plastic, metals, etc. can be recycled. For example, waste paper is sent to a paper mills where it is again reprocessed to form new paper once again, which can be reused again. The broken plastic articles can be reused, can be remade and can be changed in the plastic bags, buckets, bowls, cups, plates, remolded to make new articles. Okay, then the another one is preparation of compost. How? Biodegradable domestic waste such as leftover food, fruits, vegetable peels, leaves, potted plants, etc. can be converted into compost. Okay, by burying it into a pit dug into ground and used as manure. Okay, so that is a very good to managing the garbage. Okay, very good method. The another method is known as incineration. Incineration means reducing to ashes, means big waste, or you can see a solid waste like household waste, chemical waste, biological waste, waste from the hospitals and industries. These type of waste can be burned into a more than 1000 degree Celsius. So we can say the burning of substance at high temperature of more than 1000 degrees Celsius to form ash is called incineration, is used to destroy household waste, chemical waste and biological waste. Now next method is landfill. The disposal of waste by putting in a low-lying areas of ground and converging with earth is called landfill. Means a low-lying area, the areas which are aside of ground, by the waste disposal can be filled and can bring in the level of the ground, which is called landfill. Okay, and the next one is sewage treatment. In the sewage treatment, what method is taken? The dirty drain water containing urine, feces, which is carried out from the homes by the underground pipes called sewers, is called sewage, as you all know. Sewage is disposed of by treating it at sewage treatment plant. Treatment of sewage produces water which is discharged into a river, Okay, so you all have studied about transfer of food chain, 10% law, ozone layer, depletion, causes, harmful effect, then managing the garbage which we produce, and also example how to solve the problem of 10% law or transfer of energy. By taking all these topics, I am giving you some question which you have to solve. Okay, what do you mean by ozone layer? What are causes of depletion of ozone layer? Whenever you are writing for the ozone layer, you have to give formula of ozone layer also. Which of the following will have the maximum concentration of harmful chemical in its body? Peacock, frog, grass, snake, grasshopper. Again, before solving this question, first you have to see at which level of a transfer of energy they are consuming. Okay. Next is calculate the amount of energy available to the lion in the following food chain. If plants have 20,000 to 20,000 joule of energy available from the sun. Plants, deer, lion. Okay. You have to take formula of a 10% law. Define modes of waste disposable, which I have explained you. So now children, you all have to solve these questions in your fair register. Sai Ram, all of you.